amazing man and passed away a couple of years ago, way too early. So Victoria's made it her mission to help educate people. And maybe a couple of words of what you just told me, and then we'll do the proclamation for everybody, what you're about, what you're doing. Okay? Especially what happened yesterday.
So hello everyone, my name is Emory. What he's talking about of yesterday is the Bleeding Disorder Coalition of Florida got to make national history. The Brevard County School Board is the first school board in the entire country to dedicate March to make it Hemophilia Awareness Month. And a little bit about myself is, and the reason why it's so important to me, is when I was 12 years old, I was diagnosed with a bleeding disorder called Emory disease. If you know anything about that, which would be very shocking because it's so small, it's also a cousin of hemophilia. And if you don't know something about that, it's bleeding disorder. Bleeding disorders mean it's hard for those of us who have it to clot, which leads to major nosebleeds, heavy menstrual cycles, random bruising, and inflammation of joints. In fact, I'm actually standing in front of you covering up a giant bruise right now on my face because my dog and I butted heads roughhousing, and so I have a bruise right on my lip. The reason why I pointed that out is because once upon a time, I had to look down the face of my school principal, a guidance counselor, multiple teachers, and a police officer because they threatened to call DCF to my house because I was too much of a klutz to look at where I was walking, and I got a bruise right down my arm because I walked into a door. It's important to educate people on hemophilia and bleeding disorders because that way that there can be more knowledge and more funds brought to it by fundraisers. The reason I bring up funds, ladies and gentlemen, is because my family personally, there's a Band-Aid on my arm. We have to do IV infusions. The same needle that goes in your arm to take blood from you, I put in my arm twice a week in order to put medication into me because my body does not make the proper proteins. That medication costs $11 a unit. Now you'd be thinking, hey, that's not too bad. That's a unit, not a bottle. I personally have to infuse 1,500 units a dose. My mother, 2,000. Quick math, twice a week, every week for a month, that's $39,000. My family is looking at pushing the bracket to $484,000 in the year of 2020. And that's not including if, say, what's happened to me a couple years previous of getting hit by a FedEx truck or any major emergencies or surgeries. That's just normal dosing. The reason why it's so important to bring this to your attention, ladies and gentlemen, is not only to raise awareness, but possibly bring around fundraisers and multiple events, because the knowledge of this can help benefit many people. So thank you to the town of Indialantic for standing by my family, not only when my father passed, offering him a job, but also just being a part of my lives. Chief Connor checks in with me every now and then to see how my family's doing and how I'm doing on my education. And there are a couple other people in this room who make sure to check up on us. And that even when my father was here, it was a giant family and always will be. So thank you very much to the town of Indialantic for doing this for me.
Thank you for being so brave.